I am sorry, I don't know what this music is. Let's switch it up. I put in jazz and then apparently this is jazz. Hey everyone. Hey Hossein, hey Ru. Oh, are you working on your graphic? Yes, no I'm not. Actually, no, I've been working the other day. Hey sneaky squirrels. My eye is all orange. That is Sockbird. It's been a while since we had Sockbird in the shot, so I thought I'll bring him back a little bit. For people who don't remember him, he's sort of our mascot here. So don't be shocked or surprised by his presence. Okay, maybe I do need to change music. It's just not gelling with. Oh, let's do this. I'll take jazz out. There we go, and I'll add classical. Good to see you, man. How are things? Hey, Skylix. Things are okay. It was the first care with our little child. He had very high fever over the weekend, but the doctors and the GP and everybody just said, well, not doctors, but the GP says like, yeah, it's normal with kids at this age. They're working on their immune system, and babies' bodies just tend to overreact to attacks on the body. So that's why it goes in overdrive with production of the heat. But it was a bit scary. But now he's at daycare, and they sent pictures of him. He seemed happy. They didn't call me to pick him up, which is a good sign that he's not having a bad day. So yeah. And work-wise, as you can see, there's not a lot of drawing happened since last time. So I am still struggling a little bit with finding the proper motivation to put in more drawing, more time into working. But we will get there. I trust that we will get there sooner or later. What are you drawing? I am drawing sort of like a tugboat, but then in a spaceship form. I always like those little boats that push the big ships around, so I thought it would be cool if you have like a big, well, I don't want to call it marina, but like a space dock yard, shipyard thing. Would be interesting to have a couple of these tugboats. Ooh, sorry about that, big boat. Tugboats as well. Haxaloid, are there any specific sci-fi movie series games that you get the inspiration from your mech drawings? Mech drawings, now that's an interesting question. I love myself. So I grew up with Transformers, so I mean that's the base inspiration. I guess that's why I also have a lot of outdated or old schooly looking mechs and robots and stuff. More modern inspiration that I have is whatchamacallit? Titanfall 2 mainly. I really like the mechs in that one. I love Gundam, but my style, I don't think I really have. There's a lot of Gundam influence in what I'm doing. I love it, and so I guess maybe subconsciously there is a little bit here or there. And other than that, for mechs specifically, I don't really know. I mean, Star Wars I love, so that could count as well. There is sort of like the 80 walkers, and I forgot the name of just the two-legged ones. Somebody will correct me. It's rough. It's always extra stressful for parents when the little ones aren't feeling well and can't communicate that. Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. That just like, oh, just tell me what's wrong, man. I just want to help, and of course they can't. Uh, I recently improved a lot in anatomy, but I stuck in certain level of detail. What should I do? Not sure I understand the question. So you improved your anatomy, but you are stuck in doing too much detail? Is that what you're asking me? ATST, thank you. I knew somebody would jump to my help. Although I have to give away some of my Star Wars credits now. Creds now. What about Neon Genesis Evangelion? Do you like it? I do like. I don't know if we can consider those mechs because they are spoiler for a 20-plus-year-old show. Technically, they're living sort of mechs, but sure. But I do like the designs, but it's just not the militaristic kind of mechs that I really like. So that's why I say like a big impression on my later mech drawing years was Titanfall. I mean, I watched a whole bunch of Voltron, Power Rangers, all these Japanese robots assembling from smaller parts. All of that, obviously, big impression on me. I meant I stuck. I don't know at what level of improvement you are, so it's hard to say anything. Generally, everybody does live sketches or live drawings, just because those are always helpful. Like I know whenever I want to get back into shape with anatomy, I try to go to live drawing sessions, just because those really help you get back on the horse. No matter what your level, you can be very good or not super good, it will just be helpful. Okay, I wanted to draw something big and round here. Like that. Maybe like extra engine, because also I gave it like three big exhausts there that are pushing the ship forward. Salud. I get the Boba Fett spaceship vibe when I see the two wings on the side combined with the bottom wing. On this one, this is definitely very Dragon Ball. Pardon me, I don't know the name of the designer. He just died, I think, last year. Who did the Dragon Balls and Dragon Quest and all those shows. But yeah, I do like the Boba Fett ship a lot. I love asymmetric design. I love just weird design. Screws are sneaky. Anatomy is tough, and you'll find that there are times where you plateau on certain things like details. I think it's useful to either shift towards a new area and come back to where you're struggling with fresh eyes, or to study other people or other tutorials to get something else fresh. I mean, that's also correct, just because with anatomy, there's so many things, like you can concentrate, okay, how do I do eyes better? How do I do the whole face better? What am I messing up with my noses? What can I improve on my noses? Legs, feet, hands. So that's very good advice, because there's always somewhere that you can switch to within anatomy, I feel. I feel like I've been one of the lucky guys who I always enjoyed drawing hands, and it's not that they're perfect, but I don't really struggle. I'm gonna draw them a bit cartoony because that's how I draw, but I don't mind struggling hands. Feet, now see, those are more problematic for me. What about digital brushwork? Do you know some tips about that? Digital brushwork. Digital brushwork? Well, I do mostly line work. Digital brushwork is important when you're trying to emulate a painterly style. It is important when you want to avoid having your paintings look overbrushed and muddy. That's something that happens when you use, for example, smaller brushes and go in a lot. Like one of something that helped me a lot is when painting using just oversized bigger brushes, because then it's just your control is being taken away and you can't overbrush that many times. I usually like to draw out the underlying shape or develop the underlying shape a little bit more than what I did here, so this is a bit scary but also fun. I'm just gonna do the comic book thing and mark areas that I will want to have completely black with X's. There we go. Akira Toriyama, yeah, exactly. There we go. Thank you, Squirrel. When I was full-time cartoonist before ID, I spent an entire summer drawing noses because I felt like I wasn't that good at them. At the end of the summer, I did great with noses and improved a lot, but then everything around the nose was lacking. It's a push and pull where you'll find your... Yeah, that is a good one, because the more time you spend on one thing, the less you can spend on the others, and you might lose a little bit out on that. Hello! My wife just came home. Give me 1 second, we will be right back. I'll go after I'm done here. You're tired, no? And we are back. Like cartooning, I used to draw cartoons too. Tell her we say a bit late. I did not see that in time. I will tell her when we're done here. I put figures in perspective. Well, that's the thing. Like for storytelling, face, of course, is very important, but you want to pay attention to your figures as well. Okay. Do I have this one? here it's becoming a little bit trickier because there's more stuff going on here. And I will have to fit in between the little thingamajigs. Okay, maybe this area here can a little bit darker. Okay, now we have the three big exhausts back there, or thrusters, sorry, not exhausts. Awkward. Sorry, Ru, I was paying attention here a little bit. Sometimes it's not easy to just keep on babbling along. I do need to. So that's why my full respect for streamers, especially people who do game streaming, like paying attention, doing good in a game, and talking at the same time. I mean, when I'm playing with the guys, when I was playing with the guys, like we were talking, but we were losing, so it was fine. We were just exchanging information about each other's lives, and it was not important that we're doing good. But I feel like when you're on a stream, there's like extra pressure that you also do good. But maybe there isn't. Okay, I just want to strengthen the altar. I feel like we're pretty okay here. My idea was to just do some very quick wash or watercolor over this one. Let me see what else we have here. I'm not a product designer, Robert, I just love your streams, that's all. Oh, thank you, man. Caricaturist. Ah, that's why you're concentrating on the faces, that explains it. I think I asked you this before when you were drawing the Command and Conquer base, but are you going to run these through Viscom or some sort of AI, or do you just leave them as line art since they're most personal scale? These, like, yeah, my paper lines, I just leave line. I rarely run them through Viscom. I have something on an iPad, which is not here, that I'm drawing that I want to run through. But in general, lately I'm tending to not want to do AI stuff. Honestly, I've been just enjoying doing these analog things, just having stuff analog. I've been enjoying seeing also analog art more than just highly, not stylized, but processed and very pretty looking digital things are not doing it for me that much lately. I guess it's getting older and just having different taste or taste changing or adapting, I don't know. I enjoy the rawness of just lines and what you can do with them. And in this case, watercolor in a minute. Do you work a lot with Viscom type AIs because it is specifically industrial design targeted, I would say? There you go. Oh, actually, that doesn't work there. Let's just make the whole thing black. Copy on your match. I copied one of your Macs a few days ago. I don't know, I hope that helped. That's why I love playing Minecraft with my friends on occasion. Sure, we build some cool stuff, but it's more of an excuse to catch up and see how we're... Yeah, exactly. That was Battlefield 4 for us. We were not really winning a lot with our squads, but we were catching up on life and having fun. It is about that as well. I love all the memes how when you were younger it's just like, oh yeah, let's play until I don't know 3 a.m. and now at 10 a.m. everybody's like, well, I know I always was like, all right guys, this is a bit too late for me. I feel like we need some antennae and stuff like that here. Oh, okay, just a second, the doorbell is ringing. And another awkward pause. Oh, neighbors had a package delivered by us, and I haven't talked to this neighbor yet, so we went in a bit of a conversation. Did I miss anything else? I'm pretty much the same. I don't think I've found a way to pull AI into my process either. Why remove some of the fun? Exactly. Are you a concept art designer? Because your sketching was so cool. Thanks, Kylix. I am not. I'm a former industrial designer who does business visualizations now because there's a lot of money in that. And then I also enjoy it a little bit. But I like to make concepts for myself here and there. And I I was doing internships at a game company at one point during my studies. And I did a couple of concept works as a freelancer here and there. Spaceships for some, I don't know, web browser games, something like that. Yeah, when we get past 7 p.m. there's a 50-50 chance one of us starts snoring into the headset. I mean, okay, with multiplayer games that didn't happen to me, but my wife is laughing at me a lot because I have a saying that if I'm driving, if I'm playing a driving game or just whatever sort of game, I notice myself waking up and either driving against the wall or just my character walks against the wall because I have fallen asleep. So that happened quite often. This commercial break is brought to you by the pens Robert buys at the convenience store. Okay, I'm gonna let this just dry for 1 second, and then we're gonna do some erasing work because I wanna get rid of the red from below a little bit. And then let's see if we can do a very quick watercolor wash. Just because why not? I think somewhere here I have a spaceship open as reference. Actually several spaceships open as reference. Skibidi-skibidoo. I have some watercolors here. I tried to do concept art from time to time for my illustration, but I failed. I mean, concept art is not art. I don't think you can fail. It's more of a way for you to thinking and developing your ideas. Try designing a fish car. They are like collages. I mean, that's concept art. It shouldn't be called art. It should be called concept sketch. At least what I do. Because for me, concept art is exploring ideas, and then at the end, when you explored a lot and when you came up with an idea, then you focus on that one. Failing at a sketch is just succeeding at practice, my dude. That's another way of looking at it. Exactly. No, I don't particularly like any of these. I do like this green. I have water here ready already. Ready already. Those are words that came out of my mouth. Okay, this is clean water, that's dirty water. And this is a brush. I could use just my travel sketch. I don't feel like bringing out all the... Okay, before I do that though, I do want to have... So this is going to be a green line. Maybe let's add a green triangle there. So it comes there, that comes there. Some green detailing there. Trying to see, do I want a bit of... So that could be green. And this could be green, and then I have green, green, green. That should be enough green. Maybe a little bit here in this rounded, whatever this is. Oh yeah, and we were talking about I wanted some sort of antennae and whatnots here. That should be okay for now. For designing a cartoony fish car, you must know how much about car and fish. As much, not too much actually, but it helps. You have to know as much as you're going to, like if it's a car that's going to appear in a cartoon for 30 seconds, it doesn't matter. 30 seconds is a long time, even less, it doesn't matter. But if it's something that is like a main car in a show, or that is a drivable vehicle in a game, then of course then you will need a bit more involvement, more time, I would say. Look at details about the fish, texture, gesture, shapes, forms, and find a way to pull some of that into the car. You don't need all of them, and you don't even need to take them all literally, as they exist abstract. Then distort them if you need to without losing them. You can, that's a good exercise as well that you can do, where you try to take the fish shapes and see how you can transform that into a car. Like what sort of cars can you draw that look like a fish. I don't know where my, I had another sketchbook. Not, oi, oi, oi. I had another sketchbook that I put away. That I had a couple of fish spaceships in. So you can challenge yourself, like what sort of stuff can you come up with? Cartoon style is forgiving, yes, but you also have to pay attention because, like, you can see somebody using a cartoony style who's a professional versus somebody using a cartoony style who just wants to hide their, I don't want to say incapabilities, but their lack of knowledge, let's say it like that. Okay, I think this is, it's gonna be green, 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 green. Okay, okay. I want to have sort of a gray as well, but I want to have a darker version of this, just because we're going to have, like that is in shadow, and then maybe here some things could be in shadow. I will be returning to this in a minute, but now let's switch to my green. And I had a green here, like this military green that I think is pretty cool. And I'm gonna apply it in places where it can't connect with the other color because I don't want it running. That's a bit risky there. Okay, this whole triangle was supposed to be green. And then let's pick a little bit more. We need a bit more pigment here. This inside can be green. Oh yeah, and around the cockpit I wanted this to be green as well. And then this line here, I wanted it to be a nice little green effect as well. I think that's all the green I wanted to use. Nice, limited, just gives sort of a detail to the whole thing. I was working on redesigning the swordfish too from Cowboy Bebop because I wanted it to feel more swordfishy without losing the coolness. It was pretty fun. Do you have? Oh, I would love to see that. Too bad you can't link in the thing. Can you send me an Instagram message or something now? And I would love to share it on the stream. Okay, we need a gray. And I have some grays here, so we're just gonna use that because I am lazy boy. Starting to feel like this might be gouache because it's quite dark. I'm gonna lift some of the color from there and just get rid of it. And then just freely apply it here. Okay. I know a lot about cars, but I suck at drawing them. Ha! Of course you know a lot about cars. I was working on redesign. Yeah, I read that one. I love to see you work to Squirrel. That was the Inktober guy, Peter Parker. I know it had work in his name. What? Let me see in the meantime. Nothing yet. Okay, let's dry this up. So what do we want? I want to wash out my brush. I forgot to add a bit of this light color here, and I said I wanted to make it darker as well. So that's what we're gonna do. I wanted a couple more shadows, and those could be down here, for example, because this one I didn't color yet. And I thought this should be the sort of the same color family as the brown there. And then before I say also, like here, some of these edges that are in shadow could be done with this darker version of the same color. Okay. And I have sort of a blue here that I will use for the bumpers that are used to push the ships around. So these here. I was thinking like I could have done like a very different color set for these, like something red that is really poppy, and that now thinking of it would have made more sense, but hey, it is what it is now. I did this. I want to come back a bit more with the dark grays that I have here, just because on this side I want to add a bit more detail, and here we can also come back and strengthen the areas that are supposed to be a bit more in the shadow. I even forgot the little area there. Oh no, we have a tiny. All right. And to finish it all off, so what I like to do with these is I'm just going to put some water here, like that. Hopefully the paper doesn't soak it up too fast. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of blue and drop it there. Pick some of it up. Clearly I added a bit too much blue, And let's see if we can get an effect of sort of a plume here coming out of the rocket areas. Robert, can you recommend some cartoony mech designer? Oof, not really. That's hard. I mean, yes, if you like Jake Parker, but I don't know if that's cartoony enough. But he's great. I love him. Deepak, hey, thanks. I'm okay. I'm happy. We are coming up to the end of the stream, so that's also good. Bhavish Kumar, can you explain how different shades of pencil, H1 pencil or other pencils? I don't know how to use different shades in my drawing, especially industrial design. In industrial design, I never use different shades of pencils. I usually have HB, that's exactly down the line in the middle. Is this HB? It's HB. So H stands for hardness and B stands for softness. So let me do it here. So the stronger, the higher an H number you have, the more you have to press for the line to be visible. And the more B numbers you have, so you have H, I don't know, 6 here, and you go, this is HB, and then you have B6 there. And this is gonna be very dark very easily. This also I feel like smudges a bit easier than the H's because you really have to like scratch it in there. Other than that, it is up to you. I like working with HB or higher because it's quicker visible. Honestly, I don't know what this area is good for. You would have to talk to a graphic artist who uses graphite a lot. I don't, and I have no idea what it's supposed to do. But yeah, I think I'll wait a little bit and then we can come back and just touch up the lines there a little bit. Another thing that we could do I have a thinner? I do have a thinner one, which I'll just come in with this same blue thing. I just want to draw this area here, a little bit blue as well. I do feel like I should have done something extra here because this should have been a different color, just because it also makes sense design wise, because that's the part that's going to touch the rest of the ships to push off. So it would have been good for it to have like something that really grabs your attention. Deepak, now I'm in a state where I feel confident about figure and anatomy drawing, but now I want to start drawing mechs, so please tell me where to start studying mechs. Take your favorite cartoons, anime, games, movies with mechs and see what they look like and draw those. Like I started with Star Wars for my spaceships, and then we're looking at other things as well. And then just copy, see what you can learn from copying, and then try to understand how the mechanisms work. Okay, this does need to dry a little bit. So I guess we could call this, because also I think I would want to pick the baby up a little bit earlier from the daycare today. So if you lovely folks still have questions, shoot them now, or be forever silent. No, don't worry about it. But yeah, I can answer a couple now. Otherwise, we can come back next week, and answer your questions then. Let me see, where is this? Okay, this dried. Let me see if I can quickly add some proper red there, just as some sort of Yeah, watch out, people. This will touch your ship. It's a bit too little too late, but hey. And we can also play and just add some lights there. There we go. That's it. Do you know Toya Gogo? Yeah, I would say his style is a little bit cartoony. Just a little. Yeah. You could push him into that direction as well. But you can also just look at cartoony people that you like. Oof, I don't remember names now. But see if they do some mechs as well, or if they have robots. I'll do a quick scroll through my Insta, and of course nothing comes up. But in general, if you have a cartoony person who does comics or something like that, there's a high chance that they have some mechs, and then you can see like how somebody who draws a lot of cartoony stuff, how they handle mechs and robots. So that's always I would say a good approach to check out. But yeah, okay, ladies and gentlemen, let us do a blurry zoom in. Whoa. This is sort of the spaceshipy thing. Oh, I didn't adjust. Oh, it was an autofocus. Not sure if that was good or not, but here at least now you can see it in its full focusiness. And with that, I bid you adieu, and then we see each other hopefully next week. Bye bye, ladies and gents.